Will this economic crisis have a V, U, or L-shaped recovery? If you want to know everything from living, dining, sleeping, buying, and selling here in the Detroit Metro, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell because I have new videos coming out weekly. And I absolutely love when people call me, text me, or email me because they're thinking about buying or selling here in the Detroit Metro. So if you have any plans to buy or sell here in the Detroit Metro, call me, text me, email me, or even send the pigeon carrier because I've got your back. Many American businesses have been put on hold as the country deals with the worst pandemic in over 100 years. As the states are deciding on the best strategy to slowly and safely reopen, the big question still is, how long will it take the economy to fully recover? So let's take a look at the possibilities. And here are the three types of recoveries that follow most economic shutdowns. Number one, the V-shaped recovery, an economic period in which the economy experiences a sharp decline. However, it is also a brief period of decline. There is a clear bottom called a trough by most economists, which does not last long. Then there is a very strong recovery. Number two, the U-shaped recovery. When the decline is more gradual and less severe, the recovery that follows starts off moderately and then picks up speed. The recovery could last from 12 to 24 months. In the L-shaped recovery, a steep economic decline followed by a long period with no growth. When an economy is in an L-shaped recovery, getting back to where it was before the decline will take years. So what type of recovery will we see this time around? And no one can answer this question with 100% certainty. However, most top financial service firms are calling for a V-shaped recovery. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo have all recently come out with projections that call for GDP to take a deep dive in the first half of the year, but have a strong comeback looking forward to the second half of the year. So is there any research on recovery following a pandemic? There have been two extensive studies done that look at how an economy has recovered from a pandemic in the past. And here are the conclusions they reached. Number one, John Burns Consulting states, historical analysis shows us that pandemics are usually V-shaped, sharp recessions that recover quickly enough to provide little damage to home prices, and some very cutting-edge search engine analysis by our information management team shows the current slowdown is playing out similar thus far. Number two, the Harvard Business Review tells us it's worth looking back at history to take place the potential impact path of a COVID-19 pandemic, and including looking at other pandemics such as SARS, the Hong Kong flu, 1958 Asian flu, and the 1918 Spanish flu. The research says we should experience a V-shaped recovery. So does everyone agree it's going to be a V-shaped? No. And some concerns that even when businesses are fully operational, the American public may be reluctant to jump back in. And as Market Business News recently explained, in a typical V-shaped recovery, there is a huge shift in the economic activity after the downturn and the trough. Growing consumer demand and spending drive the massive shift in economic activity. And if consumer demand and spending do not come back as quickly as some expect it will, we may be heading for a U-shaped recovery. And in a message last Thursday, the Chief Investment Officer for Merrill Bank and America Private Bank agrees with other analysts who are expecting a resurgence in the economy later just this year. We're forecasting real economic growth of 30% for the US in the fourth quarter of this year and 6.1% in 2021. His projection, however, calls for a U-shaped recovery based on concerns that consumers may not rush back in. After the steep plunge and bottoming out, a U-shaped recovery should begin as consumer confidence slowly returns. Now, the bottom line is the research indicates recovery will be V-shaped, and most analysts agree. However, no one knows for sure how quickly Americans will get back to normal life. We will have to wait and see as the situation unfolds.